We caught up with some of the best bike builders in North America to find out what it takes to be named Best in Show.
This is the biggest bike show on the continent. There's plenty of chrome.
Yeah, we got about $100,000 wrapped up in the bike so far.
Lots of leather.
For those hot summer nights.
And some of the fanciest paint jobs you will ever see.
What we're trying to do is take it to the extreme, the top of the top, the best you can do.
This is a show and a competition all in one. While flashing lights and flashing cameras light up the one-of-a-kind choppers, there's a small-time grease monkey in the corner that brought a bunch of race bikes to the party.
This thing would finish the quarter, let's say, in 8.2 seconds at about, I don't know, 175 miles an hour.
But there's no racing today. This is a beauty contest for bikes. That's why most of the builders have brought plenty of bling.
Functionality isn't the main thing here. It's more of an art form. They're not made to go to here to LA or anything like that. It's just to go out and show off.
While other builders are using every trick in the book to get their bikes noticed by the judges, Danny has an old-school approach.
I stand by all my bikes and talk to everybody about, what the bike does, how it performs, answer any questions anybody has. And nobody says to me, hey, well, how's that rug do underneath the bike? You know what I mean? They're asking me about the bike.
His latest and greatest creation is a bright green ZX14 Kawasaki Ninja that he's tricked out for drag racing.
This guy went and bought this bike brand new. Literally, the bike was 0 kilometers and brought it over, and it got dismantled into 70 boxes and put together from scratch. Every part changed. The only OEM part on this bike is the frame itself.
Sitting at the show, it looks great. 7 days ago, it looked like this.
There's just so much to do, it's kind of tricky.
At his shop in Toronto, Danny's trying to make the bike faster by making it longer.
The longer the wheelbase, the less probability of the bike coming up.
That means you won't pop a wheelie when you hit the gas.
Holds the front wheel down, right? So you can run harder, hit the throttle harder, run more power, and keep the bike on the floor.
When he's done, the bike will be half a meter longer than the original. That affects everything else.
These are the factory straight links, AKA lowering links, right? Well, this is the stock height. So what we do is we get these custom made for us. See how they're adjustable?
Fitting custom parts onto an off-the-shelf bike frame is not easy. It takes a little creativity and a couple of power tools.
These junk links that don't work at all. They don't clear the arm. They don't clear the shocks. First, it was touching here. This point was here, so he grinded it to clear it. But now here, it's touching on the shock.
At the show, the judges will judge the bikes solely on how they look.
To be honest, half the bikes there won't even run.
That puts Danny's sports bikes at a real disadvantage.
Well, the stuff I build is, before anything else, has to run good, hard, strong, and fast.
With work on the chassis at a standstill, Danny turns his attention to the engine. He got it off eBay last week. It needs a lot of work.
Crank pistons, rods, valves, guides, springs, port the head, throttle bodies, port the throttle bodies, sprockets. There's nothing original inside the motor. This is the actual clutch for the bike.
It is a lot of work and not much time.
I don't care what I have to do. This bike will be done and ready for the show.
As promised, the bike is ready. But the question remains, will the judges like it?
Everybody wants another trophy, right?
Most of Danny's creations are classed as competition drag bikes. So he's up against other sport bikes. The prize is just a couple of $100. The big money is for the best in show category.
It's a disease. I mean, it really gets infectious.
In a world that's so digital, this is the last kind of wilderness of pure rock and roll paint and gasoline, you know what I mean?
Last year, the Rat Shop from Quebec took home the title with their motorized trike, inspired by the comic book Spawn. This year, they've brought a chrome-covered lowrider called Blade in hopes of a repeat.
No, you never know. There's a lot of good-looking bikes here.
First up, the Sport Bike Awards.
Third place award goes to Champion Cycle, and we're going to have this gentleman stay right up there because Champion Cycle also has our second place award because Champion Cycle has swept competition drag. They're our first place winners for a 2008 Kawasaki ZX14.
Couldn't have done better. People loved it, and so did the judges.
Then it's time for the big guns.
Best in show at the Super Show is Jean Poitras from the Rat Shop for Blade. Let's hear it for him, ladies and gentlemen.
With that, the title of top builder in North America is going back to Quebec. Blade might be the best bike at the show, but don't expect to see it ripping down the track anytime soon.
Small driver, don't want to scratch everything, you know, it's to make a few bucks, you know.
And that's why Danny will probably never be holding the big trophy.
For a guy like myself to be up there, you have to build, you know, a chopper and spend thousands of dollars in something that is not realistic and you can't ride. And the bottom line is, if it don't race, I ain't building it.